Let's join Ayotunde Balogun for the latest in sports.
Yes, indeed. Nigerian table tennis star Aaron Okadri has been seeded #1 in the men's singles event of the 2017 IWTF Nigeria Open. The 5-day competition runs from August the 9th to the 13th at the Indoor Sports Hall, Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. Egyptian star Umar Assar is seeded #2, while defending champion Benedict Ola from Finland is seeded #4. For the women, Funke Oshonaike is seeded #6, Yeni Shao of Portugal is seeded #1, while Egypt's Dina Meshref is seeded #3. In football, Manchester United were outclassed. The Spanish and European champions Real Madrid retained the UEFA Super Cup in Macedonia. Madrid dominated from the start and deservedly led when Casemiro, the Brazilian who looked offside, slid in a half volley. They doubled their lead when Spanish international Isco calmly slotted in from 8 yards. But new striker for Manchester United, Romelu Lukaku, tapped in and scored what looked like a consolatory goal for United. Now, Barcelona have reached an agreement with Liverpool to sign Philippe Coutinho after the Brazilian put pressure on the Premier League club to let him leave. Coutinho is set to join Barca for a fee of €90 million, with bonuses that could bring the deal to €120 million. Reports say a delegation from Barcelona, led by Chief Executive Oscar Grau, are in England to finalize the negotiation. The Catalan club have started spending the €222 million they received from PSG for Neymar last week. Meanwhile, world most expensive footballer Neymar is set to miss another game before he can make his PSG debut. Barcelona are yet to give the Spanish Football Association the green light to send the transfer certificate to the French Football Federation. That means the £200 million Samba sensation will miss the visit to Guingamp on Sunday if the paperwork isn't completed by Saturday. And that's a wrap on sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Many thanks. And South Africa's President Jacob Zuma has survived an 8th attempt to remove him from office. In his latest vote of no confidence, which was by secret ballot, more than 30 ANC members apparently voted to support the motion, which eventually failed earlier. Pro and anti-Zuma marches were held across the country ahead of the vote. Our SA Bureau Chief, Betty Divia, reports from Cape Town.
During the debate, the words were passionate on all sides.
Act courageously for our people or courageously for Jacob Zuma. Act courageously for our people.
The ANC rejects this motion with the contempt it deserves. I thank you.
We are rising against those who have surrendered the people's power into a family of foreigners. That's what brings us here today.
And crunch time, this is what the secret ballot delivered.
The total votes, 384. The yes, 177. The no, 198. And there were 9 abstentions.
We are happy that it has now happened, and as we had promised the people of our country that we will not sell out on our revolution, this motion of removing our government and our president has been defeated.
The next step is an impeachment case which is going on. The next step is in a month's time, appeal on 700 and something charges against him. He will never rest.
The opposition parties have described this as a hollow victory for the ANC. But with this outcome, President Jacob Zuma essentially remains the president of the country, with his cabinet intact, except he decides to do a reshuffle. But with the persisting concerns over state capture and other allegations of corruption, there will be no let-up in the pressure from his critics. And who knows, from what we've heard from opposition parties, we may just be back here very soon for a similar vote like this. From the Parliament of South Africa, Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
Well, counting is still currently going on in Kenya following a long day of voting at the polls. Incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta is hoping to win another term in office, but faces a tough challenge from his longtime rival, Raila Odinga. To win outright, a candidate needs more than 50% of the vote and at least 25% in 24 of the country's 47 counties. If there is no clear majority, then a runoff will be called for the top two candidates. And the main news again. Tension broke out today in the Jaya area of Lagos as mob killed two persons suspected to be kidnappers. Security operatives are still combing the area to arrest other members of the gang hiding in the storm hole. Police dispersed group demanding return of President Buhari to Nigeria in Abuja today say some miscreants have hijacked the protest, but the group disagrees and vowed to continue with the protest. Also today, South African President Jacob Zuma survives another no-confidence vote in Parliament, the 8th attempt by the Parliament. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for being a part of it. I'm Millicent Walker. Do have a good night.